The Young Sheldon series finale explores Sheldon dealing with the aftermath of losing his father in a heart-wrenching episode. A new finale image shows Sheldon standing by his dad's casket during the funeral service. Sheldon's reaction to George's death is stoic, revealing a complex relationship that adds depth to his character. A new Young Sheldon series finale shows Sheldon standing alone by George's casket during his funeral. On the heels of the Coopers' biggest tragedy, the family is left to deal with the immediate aftermath of losing their patriarch during the first half of its special one-hour capper. George died in Young Sheldon Season 7 Episode 12. A New Home and a Traditional Texas Torture. Off-screen, Sheldon and the family received the news from his colleagues, revealing that George had a fatal heart attack. Ahead of the Young Sheldon series finale, Emily Osment shares a few promotional stills from the much-anticipated hour of television. Check out the images below. The carousel of images starts with Sheldon on his own standing by George's casket. However, the batch of photos also includes a snippet of Georgie and Mandy feeding baby Cece, and the McAllisters greeting Mary, Meemaw, and the newlyweds at the funeral service. Despite his bad image in The Big Bang Theory because of Sheldon and Mary's unflattering stories about him, the Cooper patriarch is undoubtedly one of the best parts of Young Sheldon. He was flawed, but dedicated to the kids and Mary, which humanized him and made for better storytelling. So, while changing him in the prequel created several plot inconsistencies with The Big Bang Theory, it was all worth it. It's difficult to imagine how Young Sheldon would look like without George, but it might not have been as successful. Unfortunately, fleshing out George also came with its own set of drawbacks. Young Sheldon Season 7's story, in particular, made his demise so much more difficult to accept. Just before he died off-screen, he was about to go to accept his dream job, with the family ready to move to Houston for a new life. His relationships had never been better, especially his marriage, which wasn't always a smooth ride. It's utterly gut-wrenching to think that George was about to reap the blessings of years of hard work before he passed away. Unfortunately, Young Sheldon couldn't delay the inevitable any longer. Mary, Missy, and Meemaw received the news that George suffered from a heart attack at school in Young Sheldon Season 7, and unfortunately, he didn't survive it. The trio didn't have the time to move away from the door, as all of them were consumed by their emotions. In the corner of the room, however, Sheldon was able to hear everything, but instead of bursting into tears, as his mom and sister did, he didn't have any kind of reaction. Instead, his face was blank. Sheldon was too flabbergasted to express how he felt then. George's relationship with Sheldon was quite complicated. In The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon heavily implied that he didn't particularly like his father because of how useless he was. That said, Young Sheldon revealed that they actually had a special bond, which made George's death more heartbreaking for him. As the Coopers move on, the Young Sheldon finale trailer reveals that Sheldon remains mostly expressionless during George's funeral, while the rest of his family are clearly distraught about the loss. Perhaps, the memoir that adult Sheldon is writing is a way for him to finally make up for his mistakes against his dad. Earlier, Young Sheldon already retconned George's cheating scandal, which means that it will maintain its current image of the Cooper patriarch until the show's end.